Hey guys, welcome back. Steve and Jen here at Second Wind CrossFit, and we're talking about squatting and doing it correctly. And I want to point out a flaw that a lot of people have that is we can fix, but it's very common, and it can really throw off your squat. And it has to do with mobility. If you've got tightness anywhere from, a lot of times it's in your ankles, hamstrings, upper back, chest, neck, it can be a problem. So we talked about the air squat, about the hands up, leading with the hips, okay? And we teach that the very first day. But here's what I often see people who are trying to do that. First, I'm going to have Jen do a good squat in a minute, but what I want you to notice is we've got a barbell behind her, and what I want you to look at is her ear in relationship to the barbell. Now, a perfect squat, that ear is going to track pretty much right down that line. Very few people have perfect squats, so hers is going to come forward just a little bit. So we're going to show you a nice air squat here. Hands are going to go up, and then she's going to send her hips back and down. And notice that the ears are tracking in a pretty straight line, staying pretty much over her ankles, okay? Now, what we see a lot of when people come in here and they do their very first squat, we teach them how to do it, is it looks like this. You're going to get the hands up, the hips are going to go back, and then everything's going to pitch forward. And we don't get the full range of motion, but really it's that leaning forward that we're looking at. And so what's happening here is that because of that inflexibility somewhere, usually in the backside, she's going to be off balance. So your center of gravity is just under your navel. And as Jen sends that center of gravity back, unless she's got the mobility to help, if she keeps going back, she's going to fall backwards, okay? And you might feel that when you try to squat. When you really try to squat well with your hands up and sending your hips back and down, you might feel that you're going to fall backwards. And so what happens is you pitch forward in order to counterbalance the falling backward. So here's how we fix it. We're going to move the center of gravity, okay? I've given Jen a 10-pound medicine ball. 10 pounds is about perfect weight. Anything you have that weighs about 10 pounds that you can hold, you can do this with. So now what I'm going to have is she's going to start with that at her chest, and as she starts to squat, she's going to send that ball away from her, and now we have a counterbalance to her falling backwards, and that ear is going to track much more vertically up and down that line, staying over the ankles. One more time. Back and down. And standing back up. Try this at home, and I promise you, you'll see a dramatic difference. Have somebody stand next to you and watch the line of your ear one time without the weight and then one time with the weight, and I promise you, you'll see a dramatic difference. And so what happens is, when you squat at home, when you're practicing your squats, do it that way. Work on that mobility, because wherever that issue is, good squats are going to lead to good squats. Have fun.